welcome to Three Crosses Farrier Company. I'm Caleb, and this is the third video and the last video in a three-part video series we did on a horse named Tank. He had a really high abscess in his medial heel. We drained it in the first video. In the second video, we put a shoe on, and then we added some gauze in the hole that we used to get to the abscess and drain it. And in this video, it's been about a week after we put the shoe on. We're going to pull out that gauze with betadine, take a look at it, make sure everything looks good, and then I'm going to fill that hole with epoxy. So it's super muddy here, and one of the biggest issues with these abscesses is trying to keep everything as clean as possible. So the epoxy is basically just going to keep any mud and dirt from going up into that sensitive area where we drained the abscess. In this video, it's a little shorter. It's not quite as long as some of my other videos, and I want to address some of the comments that I received in the last two videos. So one of the comments was about trailering a hurt horse and whether that can cause more damage or cause the horse to hurt himself more. The answer to that is the area that we live in is rather limited on vets. We have a really phenomenal vet hospital that's about an hour away from where I live, and then we have a couple of local vets. The local vets are working super hard and trying to keep up with demand, as is the vet hospital that's about an hour away. Some people are hauling as much as 2 hours to get to these vets. There just isn't enough vets in the country. So in a lot of ways, this is the only option for people to get their horse seen quickly. The other thing is horses are extremely balanced. So they can stand on three legs just fine. You don't drive crazy. We stop nice and slow. We don't slam on the brakes. We don't take off with, screeching tires. So you drive like you have something important in the back of your trailer, and really can do this pretty safely for the animal, and it's just fine and causes no problems. It's no worse than the horse standing in the pasture and waiting for maybe a day to get somebody out there to look at him. It's much better in a lot of cases to haul him. So in the first video, I was bent over for a long period, and you'll see several times where I'm like, I got to stand up for a second. Had several people comment, why can't you sit on like a little stool or something else so that I'm not bending over as much? Several people ask why I don't use a stool. So when we're working on horses, we have to be able to get out of the way in case something goes wrong, and we have to be able to move with them. They're going to move around a little bit. They're not being bad. They're not going to stand perfectly still for an hour while we work on them. So they might shift their weight or whatever, and if you're under a stool, it just doesn't work super well. So stools really aren't a viable option for working on these horses. We kind of have to stand on our own 2 feet. The next comment that we got in a couple of cases was about using power tools. Power tools are great, but you can get in trouble really fast with them because they'll go deeper than you want. And so I always worked with a hoof knife. Never really got used to using like a Dremel or a grinder or anything like that. So I'm more comfortable with a hoof knife. Now there's guys out there that use power tools and do just fine. It's just not my style. There was one particular comment that I wanted to address as well, and that was someone commented about the fact that the horse is clearly sensitive to the pounding. How could we ever be so cruel as to put shoes on this horse just so we could ride him around? One, the shoes on this horse are actually keeping him sound. He's not sound without shoes. He cannot just go in the pasture and live his best life without shoes. That's the truth. We're not hurting him. He has sensitivity, but we're not causing him a great amount of pain. It's just uncomfortable. So we're trying to keep him as comfortable as we can. We do it as easy and as gentle as we can, but these shoes are necessary to him continuing his best life. So I hope that helps some people understand why we do put shoes on horses sometimes that are uncomfortable getting them put on initially. The last comment that I'm going to address is someone asked, as a herd animal, do horses mask lameness as long as they possibly can? That's a super insightful comment because they do. Horses are a prey animal. They want to run and look healthy and not get eaten that's their instinct, and they're going to do that as much as they possibly can. So horses are extremely adaptive. They will do their best to hide a lameness, do their best to look okay until the last possible minute, and then they can't look okay anymore. So with that, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video.